consultants we're working with to make it up to 1,000 plots. So that we're going to put the first model city in that place. It's called OAAD, Africa AI and Rural Revitalization Innovation Development City. In that city, we're going to have 30 initiatives we've already put in place. And in each of these 30 initiatives, we already have experts who are waiting for us to begin the processes of conversation in different places. Just some days ago, Yusuf helped us to have conversation. We're working towards having conversation with the mayor of Shandong province. We have also begun the process of writing a letter to the mayor of Shanghai, and we are hoping that we'll be able to, because there's too much money in this world, but for you to be able to engage the money, you must be able to present value and show that the people who are going to get involved with you are also going to get benefits. So we are not begging anybody for money. What we are asking for is opportunity to be able to bring what we have on board to support the development of our continent. The issue of which is your area, issue of security or peace and all those things, it can never happen. We can never realize it until we realize financial independence for our people. Because when one person is trying to fix something in one corner, another poor, hungry person is willing to take money from some careless person who wants to destabilize the continent, take money from them and to make things to not work. So in my own capacity, I've been approached by human beings here, and they brought me some very expensive gifts. They brought me a mug that cost about $400 US. And what are they asking for? They're saying that we see what people are doing, and you are making a lot of impact. Your people are listening to you. You are driving things. We want you to help us so that your members can be bringing us certain information from their countries that can help us make things work. They brought me this, and so I said, this is how they destroy the continent. And when they saw I was dragging my feet, they said that some other people are already doing it, that if I'm not convenient, if I'm not comfortable to do it, that it's okay, it's not by force. But if I'm comfortable to do it, that I could even provide. I've shown that to some of our members. He was there in the meeting when I showed that. I didn't remember to bring it today. But these people, they see it, what we're doing. The owners of Zoom, which is one of the very big billion-dollar companies, they have approached us on a personal level, asking us, trying to say that they see what we're doing, the meetings we're having, the conversations, international level engagement, bringing from all different countries, and the content of what we're discussing. That they want to know how we are funding ourselves, how we're making things happen, all of that. We fund ourselves by ourselves. Everybody here, we're able to make some little money, sometimes stipends provided for scholarship or people working as professors and whatever they are doing. They have understood that we are the ones to drive our own survival. And they are willing to bring in some monies here and there. The land we are buying, we are funding it ourselves. And the project we'll be doing, will also start the funding, and others will be able to come in. So ladies and gentlemen, your excellencies, this is kind of a brief of the chain of what African human beings spread all around the world, high-end talents, are doing, what we are doing to secure our own survival. Because we know that nobody can secure our own survival for us. And if the United States, the biggest economy in the world, China, the second biggest economy in the world, if they have identified that what they need to do to revamp the economy and to get themselves moving is to provide a platform through this internet and other related areas, and they are funding startups, funding individuals to be able to drive things, then if they know that it's about engaging human beings, we cannot afford to know anything different from that. It's about engaging human beings. Finally, your excellencies, Elon Musk said recently that if the average Chinese person has half the GDP, the per capita income of the American citizens, then China will have become already 3 times, the economy of China will have become 3 or 4 times bigger than the US economy. How is that possible? It's because of the human beings. China has the numbers. It's all about population. It's about engaging the human beings. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the introduction to the Global Organization of African Academic Doctors and what we intend to be doing in the next 18 years. One of the things in the cities, we're going to have universities, farms, and all those things will be there. So the next item, which is number 5, is introduction and speech by the Consul General, Ambassador Ogu. They wrote Mr. Ogu here, but it's
Would you like to privilege here. Thank you very much.
My name is Father Yusuf from Nigeria, a PhD candidate at Suzhou University. I study philology, Chinese philology, and I'm the chairman of Wasumi Charity Foundation. Thank you very much. You're welcome.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Chidi Osisioma, Nigerian. I'm the country vice president for quality for Jagolandola in China.
Okay, I found this on the web, the country vice president of China.
My name is Kenneth Osoma. I'm from Nigeria. I'm CEO of iTech Financial Limited, it's a software company in Nigeria. I'm a student also in Anjou University of Technology, studying software and engineering.
Yes, my name is Pastor Benjamin Oyenukapo, Ghanaian, former China National President. I'm currently business manager for Shanghai University.
Stephen Pacific from Ghana, a PhD student at Tongji University, Art and Design.
Good afternoon. My name is Fabian Pofu from Ghana, PhD student at Eastern University, studying food biotechnology.
Thank you very much for the introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a huge joy once again to welcome us. We move on to so do we introduce ourselves now or we?
Yes.
Good morning or afternoon. Ghana is catching up very fast with Nigeria. Everybody knows Nigeria is better watch out. My name is Alhaji Sajoba. I'm the Director of Conflict Management, working on the Commissioner Pankoli. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Zinulain Agadi, I'm from Sierra. I'm the acting head of the support operations at the working on these two buses.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Isabella Warioba. I am Tanzanian, and I work as an advisor for partnerships and also child protection in the department of my two bosses. Yes. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sunday Kumosen. I'm Nigerian. I'm a technical assistant to Commissioner.
Excellent. So we now know all of us, and as you can see, you can already see that Africa is here, as we mentioned, and it's interesting because the commissioner, the honorable commissioner, Ambassador Macaulay, who has come here, and the team he has come with, you see that also that covers Africa, bringing from different countries, which gives us an idea of what we've been talking about, at the Organization of African Academic Doctors, that the center of whatever is going to bring the success we're looking for is if we can intentionally and deliberately work together, knowing and understanding the deep challenges we have, and understand that we are the ones to pursue our own survival. And we can only get that by focusing on being together and making things happen for ourselves, because people around the world have their own problems. We have our own problems, and we are the ones to solve our own problems. And it's the joy that with the focus we are looking at today, and the officials who are with us are within the ambit of the political affairs and peace and security on the continent of Africa. So this is about our lives, and it's on that note that, according to what we have on our agenda, I will now quickly take the responsibility and the honor of bringing a brief presentation about the Organization of African Academic Doctors, which has brought us together, and also appreciating His Excellency Ambassador Chimeze Ugu for giving us the courtesies and the permission to come here to have this very important conversation. It's a huge joy. So thank you so much. Let me just do that very quickly. So, sirs, Your Excellency, we understand the challenges. We've been together for quite some years, and as you see, we are from different disciplines. And even in this room alone, with this few number of persons, you could see that the expertise we have here is sufficient to get things happening on the continent. And as mentioned, we are operating in 5 different continents, and we are connected to PhD holders, professors, entrepreneurs, innovators in different disciplines, doing different things in different areas. And what holds us together is that we have a huge understanding, the deep understanding of the problems we have on the continent, the situations we are facing, and we also, in our various research and studies, we have a huge connection looking at these problems, tailoring our research, seeing what's happening around the world. Our colleagues in the United States, in China here, these factors can be controlled. And as long as human beings engage their minds on a particular thing, they can get it done. So we're going to set up 55 cities in every country. We trickle down from research groups. At the moment, we are currently working on a project that will have 1,000 co-authors, a book that will have 1,000 co-authors. And what are we doing there? We understand what's going on in the world right now, that the global pandemic destroyed global economy in different places. China is struggling, the United States is struggling. Recently they talked about what they can do to revamp their economies. The United States set up what they call Internet for All, where they have invested $45 billion to make internet available for all people of the place, because they have been able to say that except there is strong internet for everybody to participate, nobody in this 21st century can be part of the global economy, the global knowledge economy. Because things are changing. It's no longer the days where people depended on extractive industries. It's now knowledge economy. It's about human beings. The more the number of human beings who are engaged in economic activities in a country, the more likely it is for that country to lead. And that has been shown again and again. China, on their own, have been investing 2.5% of their huge GDP, 2.5% in producing what they call Internet Plus. Why are they doing all of this? They want to be able to engage their human beings. They want to engage the human beings in the country, because if the human beings are engaged, there is no problem difficult or impossible to be solved. And I keep telling our members that Africa's problems are the easiest to solve, because most of them are man-made problems, and all man-made problems can be man-fixed. And once we understand this, we have understood it to a great extent, and that's why we are always together, we're always working, we're always having meetings. Recently, like I'll show you some of the things we did. In fact, let me just show it right away. Some of the things we've done recently, to be able to see, we gather people, experts from different areas, and put them together to have conversations. Sir, this is just one of the ones we have recently, experts from all parts of the world, all 5 continents where we are working, represented there. And we're very much joyed, because also people like Ambassador Ogu have been giving us a lot of support, a lot of encouragement to be able to see what we can do to drive the processes. And also recently we've been getting attention from the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, UNIDO. We've done a number of events with them, and they are very much excited and willing to work with us. We try to some extent not to be too much on the internet or to make too much of what we're doing known, because we understand that we are still growing, and there are many factors in the world, the global politics and international relations and the troubles around it. There are some things we may do now and we may be stifled before we are strong enough to survive. But sir, Your Excellency, let me inform you that our target is to have at least 200,000 members who are PhD holders, professors, entrepreneurs, innovators all around the world. And with this number, sir, at least each of the members will have an average of 4 family members. That will mean 5 people in 1 unit times 200,000 is 1 million. With that number, which is very easy for us to get, because when you are delivering value, we help our members to make progress. Currently, as I'm speaking with you, one of our members is in Addis Ababa, your office, running a consultancy service he has been called to do in the area of smart manufacturing. His name is Handiso from Ethiopia. He's currently delivering that. He's been there since 10th of August. He'll be returning here. And so we are gradually and intentionally seeing how we can strategically put things in place to help our people to think home. We're always telling ourselves, whatever research you're doing, think about how you can apply it at home. So in the 55 cities we are going to build, we have already begun with the first one. We have got 448 plots of land in Nigeria. We are currently working with the estate management consultants we're working with to make it up to 1,000 plots. So that we're going to put the first model city in that place. It's called OAAD Africa AI and Rural Revitalization Innovation Development City. In that city, we're going to have 30 initiatives we've already put in place. And in each of these 30 initiatives, we already have experts who are waiting for us to begin the processes of conversation in different places. Just some days ago, Yusuf helped us to have conversation. We're working towards having conversation with the mayor of Shandong province. We have also begun the process of writing a letter to the mayor of Shanghai, and we are hoping that we'll be able to, because there's too much money in this world, but for you to be able to engage the money, you must be able to present value and show that the people who are going to get involved with you are also going to get benefits. So we are not begging anybody for money. What we are asking for is opportunity to be able to bring what we have on board to support the development of our continent. The issue of, which is your area, issue of security or peace and all those things, it can never happen. We can never realize it until we realize financial independence for our people. Because when one person is trying to fix something in one corner, another poor, hungry person is willing to take money from some careless person who wants to destabilize the country. Happening around the world. Our colleagues in the United States, in China, here in Australia, we are all looking at what can we do, how can we tailor what we're doing to ensure that finally we are able to create a pathway back home. Because we know that if we bring all our people from different parts, who are in different parts of the world, if we're able to get them involved. I had participated at the African Union conference that happened last year to engage the diaspora. And the conclusion of that meeting was that the diaspora, the African diaspora, would play a huge role at the end of the day in terms of being able to bring what we are looking for, whether it's in terms of peace and security or political affairs or whatever on the continent. The African diaspora will need to play a role. And this is something that has been known historically around the world. The diaspora of various countries, various continents, get to be the ones that play the major role in activating what happens on their own continent. And that's why when we heard that you are coming, we reached out to everyone, and everyone had to come from different places. We've come from different parts of China. Like our brother Kenneth has come in, he flew in from Beijing this morning to be part of this meeting. Our brother Ndibe has come in from Tianjin, also very close to Beijing. And some persons have come in from Suzhou. Yusuf has come in from Suzhou. Because we know that if we're able to come in together to have this conversation with you, our feelings, sir, let me let you know. Our feelings is that we know the power of your office. We know what your office represents. And we know that if we have a strong arrangement on the big picture of what we know, that indeed all around the world, those who get to make things work are the human beings there, the citizens. The governments and intergovernmental organizations, their job is to create the space, create the enabling environment to make citizens to do their job. Citizens are the ones who drive technology, like what our brother mentioned. He is the CEO of a tech company that has begun in terms of payment, bringing something like what we have here, that's WeChat, that is able to, whether it's payment, it's chat or whatever, we know that we are the ones to make these things happen. I live very close to a primary school, a secondary school, and in fact I live in the university environment because my wife is a postdoctoral research fellow. We live at Fudan University, is one of the most important universities in China. So we see daily how these people are working hard to pursue their own survival. This world is seemingly really a jungle. We know what they are doing, and we've seen it. And this is what every country has done. The US, it's what they did to be able to secure their own survival. When I speak with our colleagues again and again, our respected colleagues, I always say to them that any set of human beings who are not capable of figuring out their own survival, then they must take whatever life throws at them, because they are the ones who have decided not to engage their human ingenuity. Because over the generations and in history, human ingenuity has been seen to play out in many dimensions to solve problems. Recently, we've been able to arrest the challenge of the global pandemic, and more problems that will come. Human beings are always the ones that will rise up to solve the problems. And we know that Africans are hardworking, Africans are intelligent, and they lead technology in different spaces. So, sir, we have been able to come together, and we are driving various things in various angles, And right now we have come to a point where we have made a decision that what we have to do is to take things under the umbrella of people-to-people engagement, to see people we can engage with across the countries where we are working or schooling or doing research or whatever we're doing. We want people to come together to see concrete things we can begin to bring into the continent in a strategic way, long-term strategic way. At the moment we have 46 research groups, but we are working towards restructuring the various aspects of it to find a way that will ensure that each research group, our target is that each research group will become $1 billion company in the years ahead. We should have unicorns arising as a result of the togetherness of Africans all over the world. And sir, I want to tell you that we have won the trust and the interests of people, because everyone who is involved knows that we are transparent in our dealings, and we have made it very clear from the beginning. We are transparent in terms of sharing responsibilities and also sharing benefits, because everyone wants to be able to make progress. And any system where people are able to trust, they will put in their energies. And if they put in their energies, no problem is insurmountable. And as I said, so we are currently now dealing with a platform where we are going to set up 55 cities across Africa, one city per country. We're going to set up one city per country. So the various research groups that we have put together, because every research, development at every point, every research is dependent on problems. Every research wants to solve one problem or the other, and these are real life problems. And these real life problems, as these intelligent people are engaging their minds to look at these issues, the more we are able to identify the factors, the fundamental factors that are related to this, we are able to work towards seeing how these factors can be controlled. And as long as human beings engage their minds on a particular thing, they can get it done. So we're going to set up 55 cities in every country.
It's so important that we know that our continent is a transforming continent. I'm very pleased for Nigeria, Botswana, Kenya, everyone that is represented here. Given that, yes, a bright future, but also, as he said, man-made challenges. Just yesterday, 2 days ago, there was a military coup. Last month, there was a military coup in Nigeria. There are no military anymore in Asia, except Myanmar. Why? Because we are getting their governance right. And I will address you as the future of the continent with the startups, the technology side, the bright minds, future, male, female. We are of the old generation. No one has it. We are doing our best. But we represent you in the African Union that is supposed to be driven by its citizens to represent a dynamic force in the world. Based on unity and regional integration that we foresee. We have many programs. We speak about African solutions to African problems. That's what I see you doing. I see you in China, in Shanghai, far away from home, making the best, tapping into technology, learning from the Chinese model, and applying it back home, investing in projects back home. That is not the way. And it's critical for our development. When people say we are the youngest continent, but that youth ball must be tapped into to make this happen, to make development happen, also guarantee food security. And the only way we can do that is to invest in the youth, is to invest in their education, but also invest in their expertise. This is why you have come all the way to be in various universities, and I really want to appreciate those who have traveled far away to come here, because it's critical for us. We also came by train, and it was unique at 350 kilometers an hour. We didn't feel this speed. It was fantastic, very good experience. But how do we take Africa to that transformation? We visited the Museum of the Communist Party of China. Today, we visited the Naval Medical University. We have visited the helicopter carrier, missile ranging naval ship. We've been to where they make their best military arms. We have engaged verbally with the Minister of National Defense and the State Council. It's been an exciting ride. We're here for what is called the China-Africa Peace and Security Forum. But other forums and such have been devoted to direct discussion and conversation. Trust the Chinese. They have invested our time to see their progress in defense and security. So we are here with about 15 ministers of defense from across our continent, across the language barrier. I noticed a young man from Benin, French speaking, English speaking, and they were very, very organized. What can we learn from this? Value chain of development will bring peace, will make peace happen. That's what we are still struggling with in our country. And given all these structures, what have we prioritized in our department? We have prioritized conflict management in a better way, to prevent conflicts from happening, to pave the way for what you call smart manufacturing. We call it smart partnerships. We have to deliver for good governance and democracy. Democracy doesn't have to be Western model. Democracy just needs to be people driven. People to people contract. And what is necessary for us is to engage as one continent, because our voice internationally will speak for ourselves. Our voice in our regions will speak for ourselves. Whether it's SADC, whether it's IGA, whether it's ECOWAS. All we have to do is to unite. But that there is no unity in poverty. There's only unity in progress, development, and staff ourselves. Our voice in our regions will speak for ourselves. Whether it's SADC, whether it's IGA, whether it's ECOWAS. All we have to do is to unite. But that there is no unity in poverty. There's only unity in progress, development, and stability. That's what we need. And I really want to assure you, because I want to give you a speech, all I want to assure you that your African Union is working. We are challenged. We have resources. We have Somalia, we've been dealing with for 16, 17 years. We have Libya. We have Boko Haram. We have to deal with this diversion from the goal of sustainable development. But our agenda 2063 brings us the Africa we want. For me, the only joy I have today that I'm here with you as OAAD is that you are all useful. You are vibrant. The vitality that you have shows us that our continent can be a better place. Because having PhD holders working across the continent, pulling their resources together, engaging one another from different countries, different cultures, different religions, what is critical is that you see yourself as African. And Africa we want, the Africa that wants me to silence the guns, can only happen when you take the bull by the horn. Because you're going to change the culture. You're going to change the way technology works. You're going to change the way we build houses. We're going to change the way we study in universities, learning from the best. But remember that this will happen only when peace is guaranteed. Peace is the enabler for security and development. And that's why we've also started investing in the nexus of peace and security and governance. And development. We can only achieve this together if we work as one. So please be assured that despite the challenges of terrorism, of violent extremism, governance, African renewal is realizable, it's achievable, it's not a dream. That transformation can happen. Botswana, for instance, is the least corrupt country in Africa. They have invested in governance, in good governance, and the rapidity of this change and transformation is also encouraging to others. If Botswana can do it, why not our other countries? There are countries on the continent that have never had any way to go. How do we promote that stability and learn from each other? I'm a great fan of South-South cooperation. That's what I see in China. That's what I see in the Asian Tigers. That's what I see in what's being called the African Islands. We need models that can inspire us to make the change happen. So, but most importantly, let me really congratulate you guys as the organization of African Academy Doctors. It's the first time I'm learning about it. And I'm pleased that some of your members are already working with us in Addis Ababa. I would also want to invite the Sponsor General to please invite you to also come to Addis Ababa. We can meet our two directors. We have Dr. Ban heads the conflict management, and we have the director also for conflict prevention and governance. The idea is that we have to invest in more preventing conflicts that we can manage and develop process better. I still remain an Africanist in my heart. I believe our continent is not a hopeless continent. Our continent is a beautiful continent, therefore we are aspirational. When our continent is aspirational, we can make change. Yes. Former president was was told about the speed train. He said, let's start with small steps train before we get to the speed train. But we can leapfrog, as Chairman now said here decades ago. We can leapfrog. And that leapfrogging can only happen when we invest in our youth. And my team will tell you, I'm very passionate about youth and women inclusion in anything we do. So what I would suggest to the leadership of the OAAD is that also please give the women a voice. Make sure that the voice is heard, and I really want to thank you so much. Ambassador, I think lunch should be served now.
For activists speaking for us as women, so our voice has been met. That's why I'm standing here right now. But to just reiterate a couple of things that he has said so far, that I believe that the institution, also the organization, stands for is the issue of dreaming, but not just dreaming, but dreaming with reality. So I believe that all of us here today can stand in agreement that it is okay to dream, but we don't stop there. We dream and then we implement, which is very important. Right now, we're just going to take a few questions from the floor, just to engage in conversation with His HE, so that we have things to say and things to carry home. That would be our lunch, okay? So from here, that's what we would have eaten from this meeting. So I'm inviting forth questions that we can have a conversation with His Excellency. Anybody?
We can marry the two question or comment, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So glad to have you here again. Thank you very much, everyone. Thanks for this opportunity. I want to ask a question related to the incidents in the events in Niger. So basically, we know that there's been a coup, right? But then again, we want to try to de-escalate the situation so it does not, evolve into something bigger. It could actually evolve into a much bigger conflict. And my question is about what France is doing related to not, respecting the demands of the authorities of Niger. They may not be elected, but they are the authorities, effectively, practically. They are demanding that the ambassador of France should leave, right? But we have a situation where France is refusing to take the ambassador out because they say they don't recognize the government. But the problem is, under the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations, the authorities have the right to demand the ambassador to leave. And it may lead to a situation whereby, it looks like France is trying to provoke a reaction, violent reaction, which may then, they have some forces in the land, which may then require those forces to get into action, and then who knows what is going to happen after that, and then it could lead to something bigger. So my question is, as the Commissioner for Political Affairs and Peace and Security, what can the African Union do, especially your office, your department, to maybe, get the French authorities to understand that it's not just Niger that's at play here. ECOWAS, Nigeria, and the other countries are also very much at play, and we know that Niger is the largest supplier of uranium to the European Union. So that could be the main concern, because we've seen how they've reacted to other coups in the region and beyond. So the question is, can the African Union do something? A lot of people say the African Union is a toothless bulldog. You make noise all the time, but you don't really do much. But this is a real good chance for you, I believe, to show Africans, especially younger Africans like us, that the African Union can still, put our interest, collective interest, at the forefront of the agenda, and maybe call the French to order, because things could really get out of hand. Yes, the situation in Gabon is also unraveling, but of course, if anything goes out of hand in Niger, it could really, boil, especially with the fact that ECOWAS has threatened an invasion. So we're hoping that we all want peace, right? But we're hoping that the big players, the French and all of the other stakeholders, should realize that, they should put their interests aside for once and, consider the interests of the Africans. And we are hoping that the voice of reason will prevail. So, sir, please, is there something you can do, your office or the African Union as a whole, to prevent the situation from really escalating into something bigger? Thank you very much.
Let me first of all acknowledge that I thought you were an IT. I know you were into international trade. I didn't know you were into international relations.
Actually, Mr. Ambassador, Commissioner, sir, my master's was in international business, but my bachelor's was in international relations and politics. So,
as a sister conversation, let me chip in that all of us, even though we're doing specific areas, we encourage people to intertwine. And the book we're writing now, that have 1,000 co-authors, is bringing people from disciplines, over 100 disciplines together to fuse these things. So we have cross-understanding of whatever is happening, because without that understanding, we cannot really contribute effectively. Yes.
So it's a very difficult question, I'll give it to the director. Let me just make a few points. One, we have what we call shared values. Two, as African countries, within the AU umbrella, you support that promotion practically. You demonstrate that democracy, whatever you enjoy. In Ethiopia, there are no time limits. It's a Westminster model of governance. There are no time limits. Nobody talks about time limits on Ethiopia. Because it's a prime ministership. In other cases, each country is at liberty within regional, continental, international standards of democracy to make things happen. So when Niger happened on the 26th of July 2020, that was the fourth coup in West Africa. and the fifth country that was eventually suspended by the African Union. We are the only intergovernmental body in the world. The United Nations does not suspend it. If you change your government, yes, you remain sovereign. We call for the protection of your sovereign territorial integrity. But remember that governments previous in Niger continue to sign up to the African Union Constitutive Act, its Charter for Democracy, Elections and Governance, what we call the Lome Declaration, where they have agreed in writing that military rule will not be tolerated or unconstitutional. Yes, in international relations, when we do the research, people say we are toothless bulldogs. But you know, a bulldog is still a bulldog. That's a good thing. And in enforcing these principles, shared values, the African Union has been frontal. That is why yesterday, just yesterday, it's 9 p.m. here, Gabon was suspended, making it in the history of the African Union 6 countries: Mali, Guinea, Burkina Faso, Sudan, Niger, and Gabon. Suspended from the African Union. They can no longer sit in the assembly of heads of state and government. It's symbolic, but it also has a strong message to the world that we as the African Union will not tolerate military rule anymore. Many of our countries here, except Kenya, Botswana, they not have had military rule in the past. The rest, Ghana, Benin, Nigeria, remain under military rule. And coincidentally, when I tell you, Botswana have military rule, and it's one of the most progressive. So don't let's be deceived by these military leaders or military generals anymore, or colonels, because they come to fight corruption and they leave more corrupt. They come to fight poverty, they entrench poverty. Because their business, they have no business in political business. Let's be frank. It is obvious that the younger generation will thrive under democratic rule. But I hear you that also democracy has its limitations. We have to make democracy thrive. We have to open up the space for the youth and for the women to make democracy inclusive, fully participatory. That is the goal. Now for the specific question about French ambassador. It is a question of the relationship between France and its former colonies. In this case, Niger. What is critical about you, when your president was speaking, I took note of value chain, how we add value to what we do. Niger can have all its uranium, just like Nigeria, Libya, Angola, we have our crude oil. Without value, it's hopeless. Any value-driven partnership or investment that is not anchored in adding value, enriching uranium, they will go anywhere. Niger is one of the largest in the world. I think it's the 6th largest. It's not going to shake the mind. It's not Saudi Arabia. Crude oil is not Russia. Gas. Therefore, he cannot eat his own uranium alone. What's the difference? They should raise the flag of the African Union. They should raise their national flag. They should raise the flag of ECOWAS. They should raise their own charity buildings and all. Our history has been dogged by national relationship, including slavery, including apartheid. And we must know that. So whether it is only France that is you are exchanging for Russia or vice versa, is still oppression. And that is we must move away from being slaves to anyone and be our own masters. That's why I really applaud your organization. You are looking forward, your vision. You talk about the dream. What did Martin Luther King say in the 1960s? I have a dream. We must all dream. Somebody dreamt about Dubai. Somebody dreamt about Shanghai and made the change. But as you said, just not just dream, act, implement, and make it happen. What I'm saying for sure is that the military cannot help us in our dreams. That's what I'm saying. We should not jubilate or dance or applaud them for taking out oppressive democratic regimes if they are there. That's the question. Rather, turn it around and review the democratic practice in-house. Promote a democracy that is inclusive. We cover elections. We just came back from Zimbabwe. We have, all our countries have very little input for women and youth. Democracy is supposed to be inclusive. Without the inclusivity of democracy, then it's empty. Those are the things that we can address internally. But these military guys go back to where they came from. The barracks. Nowhere, no less. Very good.
I think you covered it very well. There's really not much to add. Just to say that we should not make the mistake to think that these captains and majors and colonels are Mandelas. They are opportunistic. Some of what we know now, this coup in Niger was precipitated because some of the same officers which appropriated $125 million in the fight against the jihadists. Now, as the president, they removed us investigating them. There was a preemptive strike, essentially to take him out before he takes them out. Now, just to throw it back to you, at least the people who will save Niger, you squandered $125 million, allegedly. I don't have the evidence. And they want to hold you to account, and all of a sudden, that becomes a problem. The general who says he's the leader today was head of the Presidential Guard for 12 years. The president wanted to replace him. That cannot be a trigger for a coup d'etat. When President Tinubu took over, he replaced all the service chiefs. There's no coup d'etat in Nigeria because of that. So we need to really be able to interrogate, I like your spirit, I think it's really to say, how do we interrogate this? And you said the AU, some people say it's a toothless bulldog. I just want to say, the commissioner said a bulldog is a bulldog, but when we bite, we also bite very hard. So just leave it at that.
Let me just say that I'm teaching one of the students that are under my area of study, and I'm really appreciating them in this moment. That we're talking about the African organization, the African Union as a whole unit. But at the bottom of it, there's the issue of sovereignty. So this is what His Excellency just said, that in as much
uranium will be, they will go anywhere. Niger is one of the largest in the world. I think it's the sixth largest. It's not going to shake the market. It's not Saudi Arabia, crude oil, it's not Russia, gas. Therefore, he cannot eat his own uranium alone. It must be exported because they have not created the environment, the enabling environment for internal investment and production. Nigeria relies on Nigeria for 70% of its electricity. And Nigeria has got that off because of the sanctions. The African Union Peace and Security Council that is mandated to handle cases like this have endorsed or welcomed the ECOWAS position, except for the use of force. Because if we don't have it in our own instruments and legal instruments. But going forward, Niger must be able, the military authorities must be able to manage their relationship with France, because not only that, you did not mention that Nigerian ambassador to France was recalled. She also refused. So it's tit for tat. They are saying we do not recognize your authority. All we know in the African Union is that we engage with the member states now that she has been suspended by the African Union. we don't have any direct engagement with the military authorities except to insist, to pressure that leave as soon as possible. Meaning, transfer power through elections or restoration of the government of former President Mohamed Bazoum in a way that is democratic, and that in that constitutional order, that restoration that you must plan, the African Union is ready to support. So while they have been suspended, we are also engaging them in pressurizing ECOWAS their need to move away. But for me, I'm telling you that these governance challenges, they are a distraction. As I said to you, you can show me anywhere in the world where people are still changing governments by unconstitutional and democratic means. None. The more you do that, the more you take us back to the dark ages, to military dictatorships of the 1990s. And that is why these issues are very critical for me, for the youth. Because you know why I'm happy that you asked that question. Check the streets of Miami, check the streets of Libreville. Who are the people dancing on the streets? They are many people in nature. Because they are also bastardized. Hopeless. Democracy must deliver. If the democracy does not deliver, the hungry man or woman or the youth will welcome anybody and raise his voice. But for me, this will be my last point. We must not trade former colonial master who scrambled for color in our continent. I'm talking about Wagner, I'm talking about Russia. I see the youth in Miami burning the flag of France and raising the flag of Russia. Excellencies, what's the difference? They should raise the flag of the African. They should raise their national flag. They should raise the flag of ECOWAS. They should raise their own charity buildings and all. Our history has been logged by master relationship, including slavery, including apartheid. And we must know that. So whether it is only France that is you are exchanging for Russia or vice versa, is still oppression. And that is still. We must move away from being slaves to anyone and be our own masters. That's why I really applaud your organization. You are looking forward, your vision. You talk about the dream. What did Martin Luther King say in the 1960s? I have a dream. We must all dream. Somebody dreamt about Dubai. Somebody dreamt about Shanghai. And made you change. But as you said, just not just dream. Act, implement, and make it happen. All I'm saying for sure is that the military cannot help us in our dreams. That's what I'm saying. We should not jubilate or dance or applaud them for taking out oppressive democratic regimes if they are there. That's the question. Rather, turn it around and review the democratic practice in-house. Promote a democracy that is inclusive. We cover elections. We just came back from Zimbabwe. We have, all our countries have very little input for women and youth. Democracy is supposed to be inclusive. Without
for Nigeria, currently existing, currently carrying research on medicines. My name is Robin Final from the PhD candidate on the university.
And further elaborating summits. But let me also say, we also frown at what we call multilateral sanctions by international community. You can sanction your child at home. You don't want the teacher to beat up your child at school. You go to that teacher and listen to this, or a lot of us who are sanctioned, who are spanned. To this world, you will fight this. Because it does not mean that you can sanction as your child at home. The way you sanction your child is different from the way an outsider will do it. So we are sanctioning ourselves, as I said, based on I came here to have lunch. They are not to have a conversation. But because he's my brother, I will go ahead. So we really want to assure you that our bid to sanction is not punitive, it's not hopeless. I know many Africans are worried. Please ask me question. It's the most. The benefits of a military dictatorship cannot that is for us the most important fact. So this, I still read it. The government of Chile is still chasing after those who have been dead in the disappearance of the project. So it is critical to know that your human right, the freedom that you enjoy, particularly under many military governments, suffer. And we cannot, just 2 years ago, President Talon of the Republic of Benin was here. Am I correct? Yes. These are staunch Democrats who want peace and stability and cost development for their country. But military rule is taking us back. Yes, there's a debate out there. And what is democracy delivering? Does democracy work? I would say democracy is working. It's working for us. But let's not truncate democracy on the shortcomings of few democracy. Rather, use the internal system, internal democratic values, legal dispute mechanisms to change and address challenges. So let me thank you so much, my sister. I lived in South Africa for 8 years, so I was very close to Botswana. I really want to thank you and thank your OAAD for this. On the nod of my team, we would like to welcome you to Addis Ababa to have one-day engagement where we meet our leaders, technical leaders, meet our team, see Africa in progress, see Africa in action. We are not perfect, but our continent needs to grow and change for the better. And you represent that Africa, the Africans. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. President, Dr. Elijah, Honorable Commissioner Excellency, Director, and the members of the team on the Honorable Commission, members of OAAD, you're welcome. Welcome this office. First of all, I want to apologize. I won't be able to speak eloquently like the doctor. So I'm a diplomat. Diplomats are known to do their work before me, so that I will not be reported first. Your Excellency and members of the team of the Honorable Commissioner, I'm highly honored to receive here in office with these beautiful, brilliant minds from the African continent, members of OAAD. I was excited when I received, I was landing, my flight was just touching down. I pulled my phone to make a call to my family that God had brought me safely to the station. I saw your message that you're coming. And like I told you, I recall I had some program I wanted to organize with members of the OAAD concerning issues of our continent. Dr. Yusuf is here, President knows who. I took them to the function and we are, brainstorming on certain things going on back home and the things we have seen. How can we take some nice values, things, experiences going on here back home, and we came up with that, but we are still working on the logistics on this. So yeah, yes, I was very happy. People to have this conversation and dialogue with you. Yes, so thank you for spending your time to be with us here. Thank you. I will go quickly so that I won't take much of your time. I will just narrate this story. You have seen that we were discussing in the office how China had gone far. In fact, I thought China was one stories also received in the Western media. When we came here, we saw that things are very well. Things every corner is good. Things are just perfect. I don't know, it's only God that's perfect. Things are just efficient, working. And for us, we say, what can we do to take all these experiences, nice experiences, where enjoying this place back home? That's how I came because of the person of this group. We're working together. A lot of things, and I did not pay myself to engage our OCA. Because one, like I said, the story I will tell, and that will open our eyes as a people, as a continent. We have to strategically engage the Chinese. They have a lot of people, but they are not open-minded, they are not sincere in their relationship with Africa. And thank God they are coming from a nation who is in charge of the policy, execution, and implementation of whatever for the continent. Now, when I arrived, I came up early from the quarantine, the program, and I went to that program. It took us many cities, provinces in this place. So in one of the places they took us, that is Ogo Autonomous Region, that's the northern part, where they have Muslims, and that's the hub where is their Silk and Road Initiative program. They have it as a center. So a young lady came and did a presentation, and we looked at the presentation. We are only two Africans, the Consul General of Ethiopia and myself. Others were Europeans and Asian. After the presentation, I discovered that this project, Silk and Road Initiative, that Africa was not in the picture in their articulation and putting down projects. And I quickly raised, my husband, draw their attention. I said, why is it? Look at what you have shown to me now. I can't say that Africa is in the picture, but you sold a dummy to us and you have been deceiving us all this while. And this is a very national program. Yeah, current secretary from Beijing was part of the foreign office. A lot of big shots in all the regions and diplomatic service we have. So when I raised the issue, I said, how can you deceive a continent of 4 billion people, the second largest?
Once again, I'm Bakari Lisson. On behalf of the Consulate General of Nigeria and my African brothers and sisters that are present here. Honestly, this is Africa. We really had a robust celebration, and I want to believe that it's a family meeting. It was a family meeting. So we thank you very much for coming. We appreciate you and your wonderful team, and we wish you safe trip back to base. Likewise, those that are around here, the participants, our brothers and sisters from Africa, And we have to see ourselves as one. That's just the truth. In fact, I'm not going to take lunch again. I'm filled up. So we appreciate you for coming and the organizers to be thankful for everything. You are blessed in Jesus' name. We wish you safe journey messages back to base to your various destinations. Thank you.